This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2017 Ford Escape Titanium. Up front is a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline 4 and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, the Titanium is the top trim level that was offered for the Escape in 2017. It has a lot of bells and whistles, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later on. So, if you are from Europe, you might recognize this car as the Ford Kuga. Kuga, choo choo. However you pronounce it, K-U-G-A, which is just weird. This is the exact same thing. This was actually designed by Ford of Europe. This is really a European car, and you can kind of see that in the styling ever so slightly. However, this was assembled in Kentucky. Hoo-wee! Louisville, Kentucky is where this car was built. But getting past all of that, let's get back to the drivetrain. Well, that 2.0 liter turbocharged inline 4 is an EcoBoost engine, and this is Ford's more current family of engines. Small displacement turbos is usually the way that they go, although there is the EcoBoost V6, which is a 3.5 liter turbo, V6, twin turbo even. But this is the smaller 2.0 liter turbo, and honestly, it packs a great punch. It is fun to drive. This is actually fun to drive. No, it doesn't have a manual transmission, and we'll talk about that in a second, but this thing, it's actually responsive in a little SUV like this. I absolutely love that. The EcoBoost makes 237 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. And here are the MPG numbers. All right, car is warmed up. I guess I'll put it into sport. I don't know if that means I'll have to paddle shift. We'll find out. Boost. It pulls so hard at the top end. I mean, it really is a top end turbo. Down at the bottom of the rev range, you get nothing because it's for cruising. You know, you're going to soccer practice and whatnot, but when you need a highway merge or when you need to get around someone, that turbo spools around 3,000 RPM and you're in the green. You are in the green. I absolutely love that. For you turbo people out there, this engine has a K03 turbocharger from Borg-Warner. That is the factory turbocharger for this engine, and if you know anything about anything, it's a pretty decent, it's a small little guy, but it's a decent little guy. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. I can paddle shift it if I'd like to do that. If that's something that I want to do, I can. However, it's not sporty enough to really justify that, but you could do it if you'd like. Last but not least, this is the all-wheel drive Escape. However, you could still get it in front-wheel drive if you either prefer that or go down the trim levels. But before we get into the interior, let's talk about the Titanium package to get a better idea of what makes this Escape better than others. So, just some nice features found in the Titanium edition is the foot sensing power liftgate. You put your foot under it and the liftgate will open. This is only found on the Titanium and is a very nice feature if your hands are full. We do get keyless entry and keyless start. Keep the fob in your pocket, just hit the button. Ambient interior lighting, auto dimming rear view mirror, as well as if you got the tech package, you would get xenon headlights, blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, and rain sensing windshield wipers. So let's move on to the interior itself. Well, in front of me I have a bunch of different gauges. On the left is my tachometer and my speedometer on the right, and then in the center I do have a little screen and my fuel and coolant down below. The screen can be adjusted to tell me a lot of different things. Modern Fords are pretty good at doing this, so right now I could look at my system check, my key, intelligent four-wheel drive, it'll tell me where it is sending the power, driver alert, auto start stop on and off, and then we're back to the system check. Really, really nice. I like the information that it gives. I think it's nice, it's clean, concise. The screen is a little bit small, but I understand this is a more mass-produced vehicle. They want to keep costs low, and so it works, and it doesn't look super cheap. On the steering wheel on the left, I do have controls for that center screen, as well as my cruise control options slightly below that, and on the right, I have my volume, track change, and phone options. To the left of me, I have my fog lights, my headlights, dimmer switches, tailgate, and all of those goody buttons right there. It's kind of hard to see from my driving position. You got to move your head a little bit, but that's just being picky for the sake of being picky. On the door, I do have 3 different memory seats. Very, very nice feature. I love vehicles that have memory seats. Being a car reviewer, I always feel bad messing up people's sort of seating position. I know it's very sacred to a lot of people, so when a car has memory seats, I love it because I can adjust it and the owner can just set it back whenever they want. I love that. I do have also my window switches and mirror switches down below, which even the rear windows are 1 touch down, 1 touch back up, which is phenomenal. In the center, I do get actually a decent sized screen. I'm really digging it. I like it. It does have Ford Sync system on it. It is touch screen as well. I can go to my apps, navigation, audio, anything you really want out of a little center infotainment screen I like. What I really, really like, the thing that I really am going to take away from this infotainment system is the clarity. It looks like there is an iPad or whatever Microsoft people use, tablet behind the dash. I like that a lot. I hate the fact that some cars have low resolution center displays because we are so used to the luxury of an iPhone or an Android where the screen is so flippin' clear that when we step into a car that we pay exponentially so much more than an iPhone, it should have that same quality. And this car does. It really, really does. Down below, very easy to use radio dials. There's no guesswork here. Big tune and volume knobs, source, sound, things like that. Down below the radio controls, we do have our climate controls. Again, nothing too crazy here, although we do have heated seats for the front 2 occupants. I love that. Down below, we do have some interesting buttons, though. We do have a steering wheel heater button, which is very nice, but it doesn't stop there. Auto start stop on and off, the best button in the world, so I can turn off that stupid, stupid system. And that's not for Ford. That's every single car that has an automatic start stop is the worst thing in the world. My parking sensors on and off, traction control on and off, and I saved the best for last, parallel park. You hit this button, and the screen will say searching for parking space on the right side. Please drive forward and use your turn signal to search left. I can also do perpendicular park, or I can turn it back off. This car will help you park. That is huge, and unfortunately I can't demonstrate it because 1, I don't have any cars around. As you can see, there's no cars around here. And 2, I do not own this vehicle, nor is the owner with me, so I would prefer not to try it on some random stranger's car. But that is very, very cool. And for a younger driver and or older driver, that is a great feature to have. It makes it better. It just makes it better. We do have a USB as well as a 12-volt outlet down in the center console, and then we get to the shifter. The shifter is out of pretty much every other Ford ever made. Feels fine. It is what it is. And we do have an electronic parking brake, which doesn't bother me since it's an automatic. Seats are nice and comfortable. Like I said, heated, memory, power, all of the things you'd want. However, the whole cockpit as a whole is a little bit cramped. If you have longer legs, if you are a taller person, I'm 5'11", and my right knee is kind of hitting the dashboard just a little bit, this car might be a little bit harder for you to fit in. It is really that cockpit feel. I feel like everything is within arm's reach or finger length. And that's nice. I like that. But if you're larger and you prefer that space, you might want to start looking elsewhere. With that being said, let's check out the back seat and see how that fares. And then we'll also talk about the trunk space. All right, so we're in the back of the 2017 Ford Escape Titanium. Knee room, leg room is pretty good. 2 seat back pockets. Like I said, automatic 1 touch down, 1 touch up windows. Speakers in the doors. I have nice little lights up here I can toggle on and off. Nice white light. It's not like the yellow of yesteryear. Center console with 2 cup holders, my own climate control vents, as well as a 110 volt, 150 watt wall plug back here. So an American standard wall plug will just plug right in. Headroom is all right. I got about probably an inch of headroom. I am 5'11", so if that gives you any sort of indication. But the real big draw for the back seat here is this giant sunroof. It does span almost to my head from the front of the car. I think it absolutely looks great. I always mention this, but if I was a kid, I would have loved to have something like this. I could just kind of stare up at the stars and just, you know, have fun on road trips. And, you know, driving through the mountains would be beautiful with this. I mean, I just think this is a huge, huge draw for that for sure. While this part doesn't open, the front part actually does. Now let's look at the rear of the vehicle with the cargo room. There is no third row, so we just have cargo space. So it is pretty windy, I apologize, but Nope, foot. Where are you, sensor? You just did it. There it is, okay. So, if we get in here, have some fuses here, nice light, 12-volt outlet here, speakers back here, which is nice. And that's it. That is the cargo room. I don't actually have buttons to fold these seats down, which I would have liked. I had that in the CX-5 that I just reviewed. But nice floor mats, nice mats. Got the nice escape badge there. Overall, not bad cargo space. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I don't think this is a particular stunner. I don't know. I've never really been super into Ford Escapes. However, I don't think it's a bad looking car. I think if you were to walk outside with it with a fresh coat of polish, I think you'd be very proud of yourself. Here's the thing. I really, really like this Ford Escape. I think it's really peppy. It's fun to drive. The steering has a good weight to it where it doesn't feel super numb, although I know that it's not directly connected to the road. I'm actually sort of enjoying this, and the 2-liter turbo really is fun. I mean, let's just put it into a corner here. I mean, it's not slow. This thing is fun to drive. It's responsive. It feels nice in here. Like I said, that screen really reinforces the fact that Ford didn't take it easy on this one. And so at the end of the day, I have to say I really like this car. I really like this Escape. I think the 2-liter turbo is all the power you'll ever need. And I know I mentioned it earlier that if you are larger, it might be hard to fit in here, but I kind of like this little cockpit feel. A small part of me is kind of feeling like a fighter jet right now. And I know I'm in a hatchback. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their Ford Escape. They have a huge selection of vehicles, not just Ford Escapes, not just Toyotas. They have a huge, huge, huge selection. I'd highly recommend checking them out. Their information is not only up on the screen, but linked in the description below. All you have to do is click that link, and it'll take you right to their used car page, and you can browse and browse for hours. They have such cool stuff on the lot, always. So if you're looking for a car, Toyota of Naperville should be your first stop every time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really like to. Take care, guys.